going to be a little bit different than what I usually do. I've been thinking about what I can say that can actually help people who are interested in writing. And one of the things I've noticed is that there is a lot online about lawyer depression. Lawyers are very stressed out people for a number of reasons. I mean, they have very responsible jobs, and it can be overwhelming. I mean, I know from personal experience because I used to practice law, and I stopped for a reason. I mean, it was like I want to do other things. And that decision was tough because you spend years studying law and then you spend years actually learning how to be a lawyer. So when it comes to writing, all I can say is here are just a couple of things I would advise. First, keep a journal. I think it's a really great thing to do because it gets you in the habit of writing on a regular basis. I kept a journal for a few years, and I didn't always keep up with it regularly, but during the time that I did, I was amazed at how much I found to write about. Looking back on it, in retrospect especially, and it's just a good thing to do. It helps you just get in the habit of writing, plus you it's therapeutic in a way. You get all these things out on paper that you don't say. And it's kind of like practice in using words, which, and in a way that's not formal, which good fiction writing shouldn't sound too formal, obviously. And that's something I had to learn when I started writing fiction instead of legal documents. But keeping a journal is a great thing to do. But looking back on that journal now, I'm alarmed at how tough it was for me to give up practicing law, and how indecisive I was in terms of what I was going to do with my life. And the thing you have to ask yourself is this what I really want to do? Because it's your life and you have to spend it as you see fit. So do this out of love, not just money. And all these people out there who are saying, oh, I made like $1 million publishing these books on Kindle or whatever, fine, but I don't think that should be the primary reason why you write. Writing is something you do because you really want to do it, and all my life I've really wanted to do it. So my thoughts are that you should focus on the quality of your writing rather than the quantity, for one thing. And secondly, don't worry about what other people are doing. I mean, they have advice, there's all sorts of people out there giving advice, and just like I am, but their advice, is geared toward analytics and, well, you got to do this, you got to launch it that way, you got to do that. And it's like, I can't, listen to everybody else and do what I'm doing. But I'm not saying not to pay attention to it, but at the same time, just take it with a grain of salt, because what works for one person might not necessarily work for you, if you see what I'm saying. It's always good to read about what other people are doing that helps for them, or to look at it and say, oh, that's cool, but don't take it as gospel. That's all I'm saying, because you can try something a little different maybe, and it might work for you. And then the third thing I was going to say was self-help books. don't spend your life reading self-help books. I'm not against self-help books. I'm just against reading nothing but self-help books or doing nothing but reading self-help books. If you spend your entire time reading about how good you are or should be, you won't be doing the things that you should be. You have to believe in yourself at some point, and you don't need a self-help book to do that. What you need to do is find the courage within yourself to do the thing that you want to do. And so a self-help book can be helpful, but only to a certain point. And how many self-help books do you really need to get to that point? You have to at some point just say, I'm going to do this thing. And I guess the other thing I want to add is that I've been participating in something called Creative Sprint, off and on, mostly on, for a few years now. And Creative Sprint, if it's taught me anything, it's that I can do things that I never thought I would be able to do, like even draw basic diagrams or improvise artworks, creative artworks of various sort, use my imagination to respond to a prompt. It's really kind of amazing. So I'll just leave it at that. I'll just say, figure out what you really want, and if you really want to be a writer, make the time to do it. Self-help books are fine, but don't spend your entire life reading them, and at some point simply do the thing you want to do, whatever that thing is. Okay, I think that sums it up, doesn't it? Okay, if there's anything you want to know about as a person who is interested in writing, please leave something in the comments, like a question or a request, because I run out of ideas and I don't know what it is that you want to know. So anyway, I'll talk to you later.